with Tim Berg.
As many Floridians prepare to evacuate ahead of Hurricane Dorian, volunteers around the country are heading toward the storm to help with the recovery effort. Lisa Morgan is with the American Red Cross, and she says they're already sending volunteers and supplies to the area.
These are all items that we think that you'll be in need of if you have to evacuate your home quickly.
And Dorian has been upgraded to a Category 3 storm and is strengthening as it heads towards Florida. Taxes in California could be going up as Democratic Governor Gavin Newsom is proposing 2 years of free college.
For all those other governors and all those other states say, well, we can't afford it. It's just too much for us right now. We have so many other priorities. We are proving, not asserting, that it can be done.
The plan would cost taxpayers $42 million a year and apply to first-time and full-time students. This is USA Radio News.
Are you one of those people who thinks it's okay to drive stoned? I mean, what's the worst that can happen? You end up driving below the speed limit? It's no big deal, right? Wrong. The truth is, your reaction times slow way down when you're high. You not only put yourself in danger, but everyone around you. Talk about a buzzkill. Stop kidding yourself. It's not okay to drive high. If you've been using marijuana in any form, do not get behind the wheel. If you feel different, you drive different. Drive high, get a DUI. Paid for by NHTSA.
To thank you for helping build MyPillow into the big company that it's become, Mike Lindell, the inventor and CEO, has created the new radio listener special. Go to MyPillow.com, click on the new radio listener special, use my promo code USA, and you can get deep discounts on the new body pillow, on regular MyPillow, the travel pillows, the Giza Dreams bed sheets. Lots of savings there. MyPillow.com, use promo code USA and save on everything on the website.
A New York man might find himself in the slammer after terror-related charges. With the details, here's USA Radio Network's Chris Barnes.
A New York man is facing 8 years behind bars after pleading guilty to charges related to a possible terrorist plot. The FBI arresting the 21-year-old man in Montana after he rented a rifle at a shooting range, and they say he then told several people online he wanted to go overseas and fight for ISIS, also expressing a desire to attack targets in the U.S., including gay nightclubs, a federal building, and an Army recruiting center. He later lied to an FBI agent about ever making the claims. He's pleaded guilty to charges of making false statements to the FBI involving international terrorism. He'll be sentenced for that in December, and prosecutors say more charges could be coming.
And if you're traveling this Labor Day weekend, the average price for a gallon of gasoline, $2.58 a gallon. This is USA Radio News.
Now you can fly anywhere in the world and pay discount prices on your airline tickets. Book a flight today to London, Paris, Madrid, or anywhere else you want to go. And pay a lot less guaranteed. Call the International Travel Department right now at Low Cost Airlines. 800-215-5141. 800-215-5141. That's 800-215-5141.
Juul Labs CEO Kevin Burns is warning non-smokers against using his company's vaping products. Burns joined CBS this morning and tells folks not to vape or use Juul, but he also does say there's still a lot of investigations still going on regarding vaping.
CDC is leading the investigations. We're obviously in close contact with them. So
you are?
Yeah.
You're working with them.
We'd like to get, they're in charge of the investigation. We'd like to get all the specifics that we can. We want to make sure we have access to the information. So if there's any issue that was driven associated with us, that we can get to the root cause and understand that.
The CDC is looking into nearly 200 possible cases of severe lung disease that may be tied to the use of e-cigarettes. Regarding what the CDC is looking into, Burns reminds us,
well, I don't know if it's tied to vaping, even associated with nicotine products. Most of the early reports have indicated it's related to THC. So
I don't know about most, but
most of them that have any specifics have said they're related to THC. We don't have the details on all those reports. If there was any indication that there was an adverse health condition related to our product, I think we'd take very swift action associated with it.
And finally, video doorbell company Ring is working with more than 400 police departments to make it easier for law enforcement to access homeowners' videos. Ring says the partnerships will allow for local law enforcement agencies to post important safety information and view and comment on public posts to a portal operated by Ring. For USA Radio News, I'm Tim Berg.
It's 8:05. The views and opinions of the following show do not reflect those of WSMN, its owners, and/or associates.
She's crude, often misconstrued, and is actually a dude. Welcome to Life's a Drag. Say hi to New Hampshire's 2018 Entertainer of the Year. Your hostess with the mostest, Monique Too Soon.
Hi. It's Friday night. That means it's Life's a Drag. Sorry, I'm confused right now. You're just tuning in. It's Life's a Drag at 8 p.m. every Friday night. I am here with my co-host, Miss Caitlin Swinsky and Patricia Hurley.
Hello.
Can you hear me good?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Because I feel like I'm a little lost. And tonight we are joined by one of our Showmo contestants. Her name is Carrie in real life, but her drag name is Mike Hawk.
Pause for effect.
Yes. When you put the words together, they mean something different.
Say it quick.
Say it quick. Get closer to the microphone.
How's this?
There you go. There you go. You got to almost make out with it. Like it's...
A little bit. Just tongue it a little bit.
Nah. Yeah, we don't want to do that. That may make a weird noise, actually.
You have to replace the microphone cover.
So we have lots of things to talk about tonight. We have lots of announcements to make. We are going to announce our Drag Race girl who is coming on November 16th. Yay.
Woo! Yay!
My
So
God.
excited.
Get some... Really? Really? Nobody gets excited. I was excited. I'm thrilled. I've been waiting so long for this announcement. And then we're going to also interview Mike and discuss what he's going to bring to the competition in a couple weeks. And before we go into that, I want to let everyone know that tickets are on sale at www.moniquetoosoon.com. They are $18 for the night show, $10 for the auditions, or a combined ticket of $25. All the money that we make goes to the drag queens and to pay the performers and drag stuff. So please support the girls and come out and see your favorite audition.
$25 for 2 shows? That's pretty amazing.
I don't know about you guys, but I'm so excited for the auditions.
I am so excited for the auditions. I'm so excited for my megaphone. I'm so excited to be the judgmental person sitting in the back yelling at everybody.
I told her she can't be a judge, so she said she's going to get a megaphone and sit in the back of the room and just scream at the contestants.
Hey, as long as you're screaming while we're performing, that's usually what we like.
No, I was thinking I'd wait till after when the applause dies down and I can just be like, wah!
Oh my God. So get your groups together, buy some tables. We still have quite a few tables left for sale. And you're not going to want to miss these auditions. I've never been so excited for a show in my life.
Well, this is a really great idea. This is an idea whose time has come.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Time. Sometimes we do jingles. So we are, I know I said this last week, but I'm going to say it every week just because it's super duper exciting. We are ghost hunting here at the Masonic Temple in September. I think
it's like 3 weeks or 2 weeks or something weeks.
Yeah, it's like the September 16th, right? I think, or something like that.
Yeah, so it's 2 weeks from Monday. So it's 2.5 weeks.
Yeah, so we're ghost hunting. It's going to be me, Patty, Caitlin, and the Monday night psychic that works here, the medium, Stephanie Danboyce, is going to be joining us. And then Jason Crosby from Everlasting the Movie.
Mm-hmm.
And also from the sports show I think it's on Sundays.
I think it's on Saturday afternoon, isn't it?
I don't know. Jason
I don't know,
Crosby.
it's sports. I don't listen to it.
Yeah, I share it. I don't listen to it either. At work the other day, I made a comment about I said I was never going to see the Patriots at Fenway because I did not like going to a concert there. And Caitlin's like, "You're so stupid." And I'm like, "What?" I didn't realize that they don't play at Fenway.
Oh, yeah, no. They have their own stadium.
I didn't know that.
They're doing that good that they gave them their own stadium.
Why do different sports get their own stadiums? Can't we just put them in one?
I think so.
I think so, too.
Hockey and basketball are in one. They both play at the Garden.
I knew
So
that.
you got that.
Oh.
They share the court, so they make it like wood and they make it ice.
They go out with hoses before the games and turn the temperature down.
Didn't you used to do that as a living?
Mhm.
You were the hose girl?
I was the hose girl for a landscaping
Or
company.
you were just a hose? So, yeah. So something really cute happened today. So when I first started hosting the radio show and I was doing drag every single week, and Zaylin would come to who's my 3-year-old son, he would come to Patty's house with me and I would get ready and he would be like so interested in what was going on. Why are you putting on makeup? And I always told him I was a clown. Well, I haven't said this to him since eons ago. And tonight on the way home from school, he goes, Papa, are you going to be a clown on the radio tonight? And I was like,
he has
my
no
God.
idea how close to the truth that actually is.
But it was so cute. And I was like, I can't believe you said that. And we have to like give him a shout out. I don't know if he's listening. He might be. He gets to stay up late because he was good at school today.
Wow, that's
he was good
good.
4 out of 5 days at school this week.
Wow.
That's awesome.
Last week it was the opposite. 1 out of 5 days. So it's a record, and I'm so excited. If you're listening, Zay, good job,
Good
Bubba.
job, Zay.
Yeah, so it's super, super cute. Sometimes he says the funniest stuff. Like, I love his road rage.
The things that come, well, he gets that from somebody, but the things that come out of kids' mouths are amazing.
It's crazy that they learn the right context.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, like with sitting in traffic, and he's like, "Come on, you blank people. I'm trying to get to Meme's house." And I was like, what? I'm like,
remember when he said that when you were on the way to my house?
Yeah. He gets such road rage, and I love it. It's so cute. It's so funny. Oh, my God. So, update on Cutie's parents, and Cutie's my female white pug that we're going to be getting hopefully in Thanksgiving week.
Oh.
Yeah, so she got pregnant in August 1st. We should have an ultrasound by the end of September, and they would be born the following week.
Oh, wow.
So,
okay.
Yep. So the only stipulation on us getting this white pug is that she has to have 2 females. So we get the second one now.
And then you in all white. So
Yeah. They're 2 white parents. So I think 2 white parents make all white babies. I don't know for sure, but I would think in dogs that's how it goes.
I don't know. It's always that weird cousin that you never invite to the family functions that has like a brown or a black streak. You know what I mean? That could possibly show up.
I feel like that you're that cousin.
I am. Well, both my ex and I have green eyes, and Connor has blue.
Oh.
So you never really
But
know.
that was back in the day when you were dating like 7 guys at once.
It wasn't. I was actually married at the time. Thank you.
Like that means anything in the world of Patricia.
Stop it. But his sister has blue eyes.
Oh my
That's
God.
how I think it happened.
I just realized that September 1st is in like 2 days. Guess who's going on Farmers Only soon?
No.
If you're listening, John Buckwaldy, you can
No.
get together and get her profile set up.
No, I said after my birthday. It's not my birthday.
No,
till
you
the
did not. You
18th.
said September 1st.
I'm not ready. I think I'm still too bitter.
No, you're
you don't
not.
want to set me
Trust
up
me,
with men.
we need you to
because
get rid
it
of
would just
that
be
bitterness.
Mean. It would just be mean. Like you'd be setting a man up to just be completely tortured.
So
the usual.
yeah. I was
Okay.
gonna say that doesn't bother me. We're gonna have to tell the guys though that they're
I'm
going
going
to
to
be
have
talked about on the
specific
radio.
requirements for you to put in this because they have to know
No
upfront what
fats,
they're
no
getting.
femmes.
No, stop it.
What? That's what gay guys say.
No, that's awful.
They do. That is horrible.
No, I don't.
I love chunky guys.
I don't care about that. What I'm saying is that they need to know what they're getting into. They need to know that it's not me.
It
on
is
there.
you. Or are you
no,
going
but
incognito?
not like me talking or making my profile or setting it up.
Okay.
They need to know that this is happening because of a radio show segment that you want to make fun of me.
We're not making fun of you. We're making fun of you dating.
Which is
What if you meet?
It actually is hysterical. You should I haven't flirted with a guy in so long that I don't even know if I have like the capacity to do it anymore without having liquid courage.
If you have one-liners for Patty to use when she meets these guys, post them in the comments.
Oh no.
And if you're on Facebook, if you're listening on Facebook, please share, because sharing spreads the word. And if you're just tuning in, you're listening to Life's a Drag. My name is Monique Too Soon. I'm a boy for maybe 1 more week, and then I'm going to start being a lady again.
Oh,
I know. It's not hot anymore. I don't have to worry about sweating and
I know,
driving around
fall
with
is
boobs
here.
on. I don't know how you guys do it. Boobs are so sweaty.
They're nasty.
Like I feel so bad for straight guys who like meet a girl at a bar and then go home and they're like, they have to be so gross.
And they have all that swoop.
Ugh, swoop, swoop. Oh my God, it's like swass.
Exactly.
Ugh,
Mm-hmm.
that's nasty. I saw some girl that put pads under her boobs when she went out to like absorb the sweat, and I was like, that's kind of weird, but it kind of makes perfect sense.
How would that work?
Like she had big enough ones that they just like held it. They like held the pad.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm gonna try that.
You
I don't-
probably could do it.
You think so?
You can hold a broomstick up. Have you tried that?
No.
We got to try that next time you
I
come
don't-
over. We have to try it because I wonder if you can do that.
I bet I definitely could.
Well, yeah.
I
I've seen you
absolutely
crush
could.
a fortune cookie.
Yes, you have.
Actually, you did more than one that day. You were like the sideshow at the bar.
I was on fire.
You were like crushing for it.
And
People were
by
like,
on fire, I mean on Mai Tais.
yeah. And she literally would just lift it and drop it on a fortune cookie and it would shatter into a billion pieces.
Oh my God.
Which was so amazing.
That was a long time ago, man.
That was a long time ago.
Mhm.
That was around when I opened my hair salon.
That was before that. That was around the time I think when that picture I posted today was taken. That was like back in the day when.
Back in the day buffet.
Yeah.
Actually, I think it was before that new
That was
salon.
8 years ago. That picture I posted of us at the aquarium with Connor.
Oh my God. I know. I looked so young.
You did. You
oh my
did.
God. I hate when I looked young. I
I
like
know.
my older appearance better. I like being more mature and distinguished and professional.
Oh, is that what you see when you look in the mirror?
Yeah.
With the pink and
I'm
green.
like, who
yeah,
is
no,
that
totally.
hot, chunky daddy?
With the everyone I know who is dignified and professional has watermelon hair. He's like, it's watermelon.
Don't talk about my hair right now, okay, girl?
Hey, my stylist has left me unattended since June.
Oh, yeah. Speaking of your stylist has currently just enrolled in barbering school.
I know. I'm so happy for you.
I'm so nervous to start school on Tuesday, though. It's so weird going back to school, being like a 15-year hairdresser, be like, I'm going to barbering school, and I'm going to like walk in with
Are
like,
you gonna like walk and go back to school again from Greece?
no, I don't know Greece.
Whoa. No,
I don't like musicals.
Oh.
I hate them. They make me gross. They do. I can't stand.
And because
I hate when
without
people
musicals,
sing.
you're not gross.
I don't like
But
people singing.
Introduce a musical, and all of a sudden you're gross.
Like when you just sang, I wanted to kick you. You want to know why I probably hate people singing? Is because my husband sings every word we hear on the TV. There'll be like a commercial for diarrhea and be like, poop, poop, I love poop. And he'll just like, and I'm like, will you shut up? I'm
The thing
trying to
is,
watch the show.
I can make a song out of if someone says something behind me and they're having their own
Tartar
conversation, something will come to my head, like a song I've once heard or a jingle or something, and then I'll just start singing it.
Tartar sauce, go for it.
No, I'm not going to go. No, tartar. See, I can't help it.
Do you sing, Carrie?
Badly.
Oh, okay. I know sometimes there's a couple of singing queens out there. I just don't know. I don't pay enough attention. Honestly, I'm too busy to get on Facebook that much now.
It's a lot harder for drag kings to sing because our voices are much higher than the music that we're singing. So it can often sound a little strange.
Can you butch up your voice?
I mean, I can, but I mean, I kind of am doing it now, which probably should tell you just how high pitched my natural speaking voice probably is.
Yeah, you don't have a manly voice, but that
I
doesn't matter
don't.
because drag queens have manly voices and they're dressed up as women.
Right.
So it really don't matter.
Yeah, I do have a very high pitched voice. There are some that have lower pitched voices, particularly if they're trans men who are on testosterone or something. But in my case, it is what it is. I know I have a girly voice.
Yeah.
Actually, when you invited me on the radio show, that was one of my things was, is it okay that I sound like a girl?
Yeah, no. Yeah, and you don't even need to be in drag. Like, I'm not in drag. It's summer. No one's in drag. Patty's not in drag.
I'm not in drag. I am.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Caitlin showed up in her snack outfit tonight. She is dressed to eat right now. She wore her jogging pants and her hoodie from Victoria's Secret.
She was wearing a sundress the same color when I went into the salon today. So she stayed with at least the same color scheme.
Yeah, she can
She
only
just
wear
went
one
from-
color in one day. She has OCD.
That's all.
I can only do green today, people.
Oh my God, I forgot to also mention that my salon is still hiring. We recently have hired one person that's going to be starting in about a month.
Come work
But we
with
still
us.
have a couple of stations. Don't you want to work with a couple of stupid people like us? We are so fun to work with. All we do all day is eat, talk crap, put products on the shelf.
We'll make you laugh.
Yeah.
Come laugh with
We're
us.
pretty hysterical. You can sit right next to us too. Caitlin's got a chair right next to her available.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
I'll be right in the middle.
I'm actually going to turn that into the barber station. I'm going to put like a hot towel cabinet on it, like a little shave machine.
That'll be cool.
Yeah, I told Caitlin I was going to practice my straight edge razor shaving on her legs.
Nice.
Yeah, she's got a winter coat right now.
Free,
I'm
free
saving
leg
it for you.
shaving.
Yeah, I'm going to just have her lay on the station and I'm just going to shave her legs.
Wow.
Oh my God.
You're going to trust him with a straight edge?
We'll see. We'll see how he does with the balloon.
I'm really not going to shave your
Considering-
legs.
Considering how clumsy you are,
I could have never do
with
that.
him and a razor in his hand, I don't know if that's
Yeah,
going to
she'd
work out for
probably
you
do a
guys.
high kick while I was shaving her legs.
I'd come in to get my hair done, and there would be blood everywhere.
What's new? Oh, weird stuff happens.
I got a one-liner for you, Patty.
Oh, good.
Who's it from?
Because we know our audience, okay?
Bonnie Galley.
Oh, that's my cousin.
She said, if you worked for UPS, would you let me handle your package?
Whoa, Bonnie.
Yes.
Wow.
If I said you had a nice body, would you hold it against me?
Aw, that was a song, wasn't it?
I think so.
That was someone turned that into a song.
Oh, really?
It is, yeah. It's a song.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
It's interesting. I use, when I don't know what caption to put on a picture that I'm posting on social media, I use pickup line.
Oh, you
It's
do?
a silly pickup line. So, for example, something like, well, girl, you must have been in 4-H because you sure know how to raise good cock.
Oh. Rooster.
Yeah.
The animal.
The animal.
Some chicken hens tonight.
Caitlin has chickens.
My mom has chickens.
That's amazing. I want chickens.
I love
No.
them for eggs.
I want goats.
I
Goats would
so
be
do.
cute.
Danny won't let me.
I don't know if
Danny's
I
mean.
do goat
I know.
milk.
I was
Yeah.
thinking of getting a divorce.
Well,
Just
can
so
you
I
get
could
a
get
goat?
goats.
Does a lawyer? I can give honestly here in Nashua when you get a divorce, they don't give you a goat. So try and find out at the local.
Yeah,
you know,
probably somewhere up
courthouses.
north, like in Tilton or
Maybe,
something.
maybe I'm sure Bo. I mean,
I don't think Bo has a
that's
courthouse.
true. It's because no one lives there.
I went to the town hall and it also was a preschool. I was like, oh, this is like a multi-service complex.
Are you being serious?
I think it is.
Oh my god,
Yeah.
that's so funny.
There was a classroom in there and there was like kids' drawings
like
all over
the
the wall.
preschool, and then the middle school is the next class over.
No. I think it was like maybe like a daycare for the people that maybe worked. I don't know.
Oh,
there
that's
wasn't
so
that many people
cute.
working there. It was a
How
beautiful
many people
office.
need, like one person a day probably goes to the town hall?
No,
and
there was a
Bo.
line when I went in there, like 4 people.
Oh, so everyone in town?
There's more than 4 people. I've already dated more than 4 people there. Don't tell Danny.
Oh, I won't. He'll never hear it.
No, he doesn't listen every week. No, he's probably listening.
He probably is listening. Oh, sorry, hon.
I live in Greenland, which has about 3,000 people, and our entire downtown is a dump and a single strip with like 2 stores on it. It's the smallest
Like an
thing.
actual town dump?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know if you were saying it was just dumpy.
No, I mean it is, but
Well, I know it was because
Donald Trump just tried to buy Greenland.
yeah, but just not the one in New Hampshire.
he
Do you
might
think
have
he
been
knows
able
the
to buy one in
difference?
New Hampshire.
No,
He probably doesn't know
not.
the difference. Probably Greenland, New Hampshire, you can have it for $1.
Oh yeah, probably.
So how many people were? What year did you graduate? Can I ask what year you graduated high school?
So I graduated in Londonderry. So I live in Greenland now, but I
Oh, okay.
I graduated in 2006.
Londonderry is known
mackerel.
for gays too. There's a lot of gays that come out of Londonderry.
There's a lot of people that come out of Londonderry. It's really a town that the school system is just absolutely huge, and a lot of people will live there for the school system. There's not a lot else there.
Yeah.
I mean, there's stuff, and I feel like people are going to be like, "You hate Londonderry." No, I don't. I lived there my entire
It's
childhood.
okay if you
but-
hate Londonderry. This is a free radio
Yeah,
show.
but Londonderry shares their school with 2 other towns, right?
Not really.
Oh, wait a minute. No, I'm lying. I'm thinking of something different.
That's Pinkerton.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Don't pay attention to me.
There's yeah.
Patty's kid's graduating soon.
2 years, not soon.
That's soon.
I have 2
That's
whole
pretty soon.
years. No, stop it. That's no, I'm just kidding. That's,
Patty's in her 50s.
my son just got his license in a car, so I'm going through a little bit of mommy syndrome.
Yes.
Yeah. I know.
Sounds a little
That's
scary.
not
I
the-
know.
First
I know.
car.
I don't look old enough to have a
That's not the
16-year-old.
only
I
syndrome you're
know.
going through, girl.
I'm cracking myself up over
Yeah.
here. Never mind.
Yeah, it's one of your many syndromes.
I know. I was on a roll last night
Why?
during our Facebook group message. There, I was like shooting out the jokes, and nobody else was
one-liners.
laughing.
Yeah.
I was in bed. I was in bed doing that because it was late, and I don't stay up too late. And I was like crying, laughing, and I was like,
I
no.
think you think you're funnier than you are
I
sometimes.
think so too.
It cracks me up because I always am like, I think she thinks she's hysterical right now, but nobody gets it.
Nobody gets it. Nobody gets
I
me.
get it.
And I know you do, but not everybody else. Not barely anybody else does. And I will be laughing, like tear coming out of the side of my face, laughing,
And we're all just
people are just
staring
kind
at
of
her.
staring at me, and I'm like, no. And then if you have to explain the joke, it's not funny anymore.
Mhm.
If you
Nope.
explain it for long enough, it becomes funny again.
Oh, see, it's funny to me the whole time.
Mhm.
And it'll be funny to me a week later when I think of it. Like when I did that whole asking for a friend thing, and I laughed for like 3 solid months about that every time I told the story.
And it was already like 8 months after the phase was over that you were getting into it. Like it was already done on Facebook, but Patty just got into it.
No, but people still kept posting it. Like people were. Jason did one. He posted to my page and was like asking for a friend. People were doing it
I'm
constantly.
surprised you haven't.
And every sometime someone did it, I sat back and laughed till I cried.
I'm surprised you haven't started the old trend that's now the felt cute might delete later trend.
I actually never got that trend. I don't get the hip young trends. I don't get it.
That's because you're 50, girl. You're not
I'm
supposed to get them.
43 3/4.
The only tablet you own is a stone. It's prehistoric. I was just gonna say something and I completely forgot. Is Dan from Club 96 listening live?
No, he's at the movies right now.
Oh, he is?
Yeah.
I was gonna say I haven't seen him.
He's the one that's so excited for tonight's announcement. He's not even listening, but I wanted to give him a shout out because he just released his fall candles. So you can get his candles. They're called Man-Made? No. What are they called again? I forgot. Dan's Candles. I really wanna-
The store is homemade in New Hampshire, I believe.
Yeah, I just forgot
We
what he
went
called
to it.
candles. Yeah, we
Dan
sniffed his
sent-
candles.
I was gonna say Dan sent.
We
Dan
took a picture with him.
Sentorama. Yeah, I know. That was a really cute
I thought they were
picture.
called mandals. I don't-
That would be amazing.
They
if they
should be
were.
called mandals, and they should come in like sandal-shaped containers. 'Cause you know I hate those freaking mandals.
I know, the ones I have.
Yes, I hate them.
I
And I
know
hate
you
when people
do.
wear them with socks like that. It's so disgusting.
I don't wear mine with socks.
And I
Does that
hate
give me a
Crocs.
little
Like,
bit of?
No, I want to throw like a gallon of vodka at you after I drink it.
Oh, are you talking about those ones?
Is she wearing them right
That
now?
I am.
Well, I mean, not right.
They're
actively
like
right now.
they're
She
like
wears them.
Adidas slides.
Yeah.
Oh God, those are so.
This isn't
yeah.
Adidas. This is, first of all, it's Nike. Okay.
Oh, sorry to downgrade your paycheck.
I don't even. I actually cannot stand the ones that Caitlin will wear. I can't stand anything between my toes.
Oh, flip flops.
It freaks me out.
You like tongues between your toes.
That's disgusting and not true. I'll let you joke about a lot of stuff, but that's gross.
Who doesn't love a tongue between the
Eh,
toes?
don't even. That's so nasty. Well, you know
Really?
what? I'm not judging. If that's what people like, so be it. I just
You've done far
the
worse
idea
things.
of it actually makes me go, ugh.
Even on my beautiful feet.
Your feet are nasty.
Hey, I got a scraper. I've been doing it every week.
Did you get me? You said you were going to get me one. Did
No,
you get
I
me
couldn't
one?
get one. I went looking and they didn't have any more. So
I'll just go buy a cheese grater at like JCPenney or
yeah,
something.
you got a real cheese grater. That would be amazing. You need to do a video of you sitting on the couch with a traditional cheese grater.
No, we're gonna do it. We should do a jingle, and I can be sitting there with like a magazine, and you can be doing it.
You can be the lady that doesn't know what cheese is,
And I'll
so
just
she
be, like,
grates her feet
bleeding.
instead. Oh my god!
Yes.
Oh my god, that'd be amazing. And then you can shave your legs with it. I found this at the store. It's
Imagine,
amazing.
but then it gets clogged.
Oh, and you see like clumps of leg coming
Clumps
out.
of, like hair.
Oh, we're disturbed.
That would be amazing. I can't even imagine what the commercial would be for, like Band-Aids.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Maybe, or like
bacitracin.
mental problems.
You could I could spray some bacitracin on it and be like, gleam, it's all better.
At the end of it, we can just drag you out of the house on a stretcher and like a, what are those straight jackets? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That'd be amazing. It'd be like Hannibal Lecter, the new movie coming soon.
Oh my God. And like how Hannibal Lecter got started.
Yeah, it'd be like the female Hannibal Lecter.
Mhm.
Hannibal Lecter.
No.
I love that. Whatever.
All right. Anyway, so how you doing?
Good.
We have a guest here.
Yeah, we do, and we have our first. Well, it's our first drag king on the show, but I'm not surprised by that because they're not super common. They're a little bit more common now at the Breezeway, but they're not common really.
Yeah, there's definitely been an uptick in drag kings in the area, in all of New England, actually, in the last couple of years. And they're definitely picking up nationally, too. Landon Siders on Dragula, and Boris Tudeth is on Camp Wanakiki. So there's starting to get more of a presence of drag kings. It's
Yep.
kind of cool. Like when I started out There were a couple of drag kings who sort of maybe performed once in a blue moon at Breezeway, but I didn't really run into them a lot. And then at this point now, there's probably about 4 of us that are performing there pretty consistently, which is really cool to see.
Yeah, that is cool. So, just a little about you too. So you are a lesbian in real life, right?
I identify as pansexual.
Pansexual, what does that mean? You like frying pans? No, I'm just kidding. I'm so stupid with these terms. I miss all the old words. It was like 4 of them. Now there's like 28 words. There's one for every letter of the alphabet.
I don't consider gender an attraction. So I'm attracted to men, women,
eggplants,
non-binary people.
Really?
So that means you're attracted to a person, not necessarily the gender of the person.
Right. Yeah. The gender of the person doesn't particularly matter, and when I'm deciding whether or not
So what separates pansexual from bisexual?
It's pretty similar. Some people basically use them as synonyms. Bisexual.
I love cinnamon.
God. So
some people do use bisexual and pansexual basically as the same thing. Some people use pansexual because they feel it's more inclusive. They basically can be used interchangeably.
Okay.
But yeah.
See, all the terms that we like when I grew up and I was gay, it was like lesbian, questioning, bisexual, gay, transgendered. And now it's like zigzag, zebra, lion, Beyonce.
I think it's important for everyone listening to realize that he's not being offensive.
Right. No.
And I think that people, I think what some of the best things about today, and not everybody, because there's always of those people who get offended by everything, but I think the message of inclusivity is also with people like yourself who just took a moment to explain and or we're asking for tolerance for everyone, but it's also important to be tolerant of people who are trying to learn,
Right, absolutely.
because this is all new.
Are you saying I'm stupid?
Huh? Am I saying you're stupid?
Tolerant of people who need to learn.
Well,
no, it's tolerant of people that I'm including myself in that. Like, I don't know.
You're a cisgendered female.
I
right?
hear.
Is that right?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I assume. I don't actually know if I assume you are.
I would like to talk about my sexuality for a moment. No, I'm just kidding. No, I think I don't know this stuff. I hear people and I see these words a lot, but I couldn't spit it out what every one of them means.
Yeah, I don't care what anyone is. I just be a good person.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, some of the stuff in terms of gender identity, I think, comes up a little bit more in drag, like transgender, non-binary, gender fluid, that sort of thing.
Oh, you're confusing me again.
Yeah,
me too. There's a lot of different terms.
We're
like
gonna have to have a whole show where we just go over all these damn terms because I don't even know half of them.
Yeah, but
I just say girl.
I think a lot of them actually are quite similar to one another. I think it depends. Is it also geographically? Do you find, or do we know? Does anyone know if like we call the same things here that they do in the West Coast, or are there different?
I think at this point, yes, but just because of the internet, because everybody's so
that
connected
big interwebs.
Now. So a lot of the terminology has spread through the internet. Because I mean, if you think about it, in a community like New Hampshire, our LGBTQ community is pretty small in general. So if you were somebody who identified as non-binary, meaning neither male or female, then you might not know very many people, if anybody, who also identified as that, and you wouldn't know that there would be a term. Now you have the internet, you can say to a chat room or to a Facebook group, hey, this is what I'm feeling, and people can say, oh yeah, this is what I'm feeling too, and this is what I called it. So it kind of gives an opportunity for people to connect and share terms. And my attitude is, if somebody tells me what they identify as, I'll use that term. It may mean something different. It may be something I had never heard before, but it's more important that they feel comfortable, and that's really all that matters to me.
Yeah, so let's talk about something that's getting
that's really nice.
A little flack on Facebook right now. The term fish is now being ripped apart as offensive. And that to me is just like the craziest crap. Like, we're getting so easily offended by words now. Like,
oh, wait, is that like when you call me a stinky bass fish?
No, you're a trout. I call you a sloppy sea bass.
Sloppy sea bass, that's right.
So the term fish is used in drag to refer to somebody. So typically it's used to refer to somebody who looks very femme.
Yeah, like passable. I just think passable, male or female.
And honestly, it's used
passable.
Yeah, like you look like you could walk down the street and nobody would look at you twice.
So like, for example, and even drag kings will use it at times. For example, I have been called fish when I look to the point where I can walk into a gas station and nobody's going to look at me twice. And they just would assume they'll say sir, and they won't even question it.
Oh, so you'll pass as the gender you're dressing as.
To the
oh,
norm-
I got.
man.
I
Yeah.
thought you meant pass. Like I would walk by you and be like, pass. Psh.
No.
No. Like
Very
you
much
walking
like-
down the street and nobody looks at you like you don't belong.
Right.
Okay.
So,
okay.
I mean, obviously, a lot of times when you see a drag performer, you know that they're a drag performer. They're wearing giant wigs and crazy makeup and all kinds of like sparkly clothes, and they're obviously a drag performer. Fish is more when is used more to refer to somebody who is very much, they look like the gender that they're looking to portray. The origin of the term, it's kind of debated. There's a lot of different attitudes on it, but generally people understand it to be referring to a drag performer who looks so feminine that you can smell their non-existent nethers, if you will. So it's like you look so femme tonight that I can smell your
sloppy sea bass.
Ew.
Yeah.
I would never say that to somebody. I would be like, I don't refer to fish as stank.
I
Like,
can understand why someone would find that offensive then if
Right.
that's the
Yeah,
origin
but-
in which it came from.
But, so it's typically used these days. Most people, I think, like I don't think I know very many people at all who would use it in that sense. There are certainly performers who do that. It's not cool when they do, but the problem with it is because of the term, there's still an issue, particularly with queens who, so there are drag queens who are women and there are drag queens who are men, but they have female genitalia because they're trans men. And I think that there are people who really, I think, get the brunt of the negativity of that term because if they're getting that term, then it's very much saying like, I think of your body as smelly. I think
see,
of
I
your
don't
body
see
as
that
negative.
at all. Like that is being distorted. I think
that it depends on the performer too. Again,
Yeah.
at this point, most people who say it are not thinking of that. They're thinking like the RuPaul, like
yeah, you're so
fishy
fish, girl.
fish.
It's
Yeah,
not like if
like
I
it's
was
seen
going to
as
say
a
you stink,
compliment.
I would be like, girl, you need to put some freaking deodorant on. Like,
right.
I wouldn't just say you smell like a trout because most people don't smell like fish when they stink. They smell disgusting.
Right. I mean,
Like not
Well,
fish.
I think that's not what she was saying, though. I think she,
No.
no, that she was saying is that, like they're saying that you smell like a woman.
you smell like a woman who has an infection in her.
Oh, that's
hoo-ha.
gross. That's called a
Right.
yeast infection, not
Yeah.
fish.
Right.
But the origin of the term is that that was the origin of the term was that
Smell.
yeah, when you have gay men back in the 80s who were a lot of them were quite misogynistic, as many men back then were in general, and the 90s too, a lot of the time they approached it as, oh, women's bodies are disgusting, so what
I'm
they were
terrified
saying,
of women's bodies. I'm not disgusted by them, but I'm not into them.
right, you can not be into them and not be disgusted by them.
Yeah, no.
So I absolutely do understand. So
I'm disgusted by what's below the waist, to be honest. I really
That's
am.
what we're talking about.
Yeah,
here.
I don't like
Right.
it. I'm not going to call it
And
it.
well, let's be honest. I've sat on the couch with you, and I've put my leg on over your leg, and like tried to snuggle with you, and you're like, "Oh my god, put your leg back!" All of a sudden, I can smell Salisbury Beach. Oh my god!
I mean,
that's what she's talking about.
That's
Yeah.
honestly that's where that's coming from, and I think
I'm not going to kill that joke. I don't care.
I think-
I'm not killing.
I
That's
think
one of
it's
my favorite
hysterical. It's a
jokes.
great
You
joke.
smell like low tide girl.
but there's a big difference between making that kind of joke between friends who like each other, what the meaning is. It's just fun and goofing
Yeah.
off, and the performer who was complaining about it on I think it was Dragula, I believe it was Hollow who was complaining on Dragula Hollow Eve. Her point was basically she's on television. If she finds that term offensive, her friends may all know that and not use it. But you shouldn't be using it in a situation where you don't know that that's something that your friends are okay with and are down for.
I think
So-
a lot about using words in today has a lot to do with the intent of them as well.
Mhm.
I think when you are amongst friends and you're saying what you say, if someone says that and they are intentionally doing it because they know that the person is trans
Right,
and they're
absolutely.
trying to degrade them,
I don't
It's a
think people are
different-
being degrading all the time either when people get upset by words either. I think
No.
people are very sensitive to words. And like we've had Ivy on here and Ivy's transgendered and Ivy loves the word tranny. I love the word tranny too. When they took out she-male from RuPaul's Drag Race, I was like, why? Like it's she M-A-I-L. It's not even she-male. And the thing is too, is like that word isn't derogatory unless you're using it in a derogatory fashion. Like
I've always been one to say like
I love
making
our
jokes
words.
out of that stuff, making jokes out of these things is what makes it more relatable, but I think it also takes the sting out of it. Like,
Yeah.
make fun. I like to make fun of myself. So if I'm going to make fun of myself, I don't care if anyone,
Like if one of my friends called me the F word, I'm not going to hate my friend for that. Like they're not going to say it being mean, but if like a stranger in the street called me that's a problem. It's the way the word is being used.
Correct.
Right. And I think the problem is that the stranger in the street could mean it in a genuinely kind and good way, but you don't know that. Like, no, they could be meaning it in the same way as your friend, but you don't know that. And I think that one of the issues that we run into with some of this terminology, whether that's, I'm not going to say, the T word, because I know some people who get hurt by that, but whether it's words for anybody in the LGBTQ community, is that decision that they're going to reclaim that word has to come from them. So if somebody says to me, I don't like the term fish, and actually I hadn't heard a lot of the controversy around it or the background around it until the whole thing came out and there was this controversy on Facebook, and I went and looked it up.
Yeah.
Because my first reaction was, well, I mean, what's wrong with it?
Fish is a normal everyday word too, though, so it's kind of hard to be offended by a word that people use in a normal day.
I didn't know the history of it. And then I read about the history. I was like, okay, actually, yeah, I can see why, some people might be offended by that. I can see where that would make people uncomfortable, particularly if you're like a trans woman or somebody like that. Or worse,
I consider the word dyke a bad word.
Right. And a lot of women are reclaiming that.
Yeah.
But it's like,
there's so much sensitivity nowadays.
It's very much like, it's about doing what people find comfortable. So in this case, I actually used the term before all the time. I use the term fish all the time. Mm-hmm. And now I know that a lot of my friends who had never talked to me about it before, like, hey, I don't really like that term. This kind of brought to the point where they're like, yeah, that kind of makes me feel uncomfortable. I was like, all right.
So weird.
So
see,
I'll
I'm
find
just an
another term.
old-fashioned queen too.
It's
like
easy enough to
we
find
would call
term.
each other horrible things all the time. I mean, I do that to you every day.
Right.
Oh yeah, and a lot of people do. And again, I probably will. There's still people I probably would use it with and have no issue with because. And again, if somebody calls me that, I'm not going to be offended by it. I might make a joke at their expense, but that's because I like to do that about everybody.
See, and I'm a drag queen, and I live off of insult comedy. Like, you can't take words away from me that I have been using for 20 years because now all of a sudden they're sensitive words. Like, for me, that's I think horrible.
I think that the question is, are they now all of a sudden sensitive words, or were they always sensitive and you just didn't know because they didn't feel like they were in a position where they could tell you? And honestly, I think that the issue with a word like fish is that if you have somebody who, for example, a woman doing drag, they've often not been in a position where they felt they had any ability to go to somebody who was more powerful than them, who was booking shows, who was potentially a source of income for them, and say, I don't like that word. And that now that we have people who are at that higher level, women who are performing on shows like Dragula, they're in that position where they don't feel like they're going to lose that much to say, actually, this word's always bothered me. And I think it's a good thing that people are talking about it. Again, like personally, I'm not going to be offended if somebody uses that word against me.
Yeah.
Because I don't care. If you think my nethers smell, then whatever.
See,
but
I don't
also
ever
like
relate it to that. That to me is just so weird.
I honestly, until the controversy came up and I actually did some research into it, I always thought it meant like, something's fishy,
I always thought it meant passable. That's always what I thought fish was.
But like,
and
I thought
like a bio queen, I wouldn't call fish because she is a woman.
Well,
I wouldn't call her fish because she is already passable because she's a woman.
Well, I think for me, I usually use fish to refer to when your makeup looks particularly passable. So so like
natural
versus fish versus camp. So like actually the new term that I've been trying to use with my friends is calling somebody 5-star. So you're not campy, you're 5-star because you're staying in a high-end hotel. Like if you think about it like that kind of thing. But I think that anytime you're using camp versus any other term, what you're really talking about is how realistic, quote unquote, is their makeup.
But do you feel like in like say 10 years the word camp is going to be offensive now, or the like some terms that aren't really offensive now? Because I feel like words that never were offensive and never were talked about being offensive are now becoming offensive. So now are the new words we're using going to be offensive? And
it's possible.
10 years, like it's just I don't know what happened to our generation where we started to get really sensitive about everything.
I think it's possible. I think the question is, are people feeling like they're comfortable talking about it yet? I think there's definitely some groups that we do marginalize and that they're still getting to the point where they don't feel like they can say, hey, you're hurting my feelings.
Yeah.
But I mean, one of the good examples that I always like to use is the term gypsy, which is used for the Roma people. And that's something that people use all the time. And most of the
It's
time,
in a lot of songs.
right. And a lot of people like don't think of it as something offensive, but it's actually a very, very, very bad slur. I mean, it's the equivalent of the N-word, and the general attitude of the Roma people as being like thieves and vagabonds and, you know, swindlers is actually causing significant harm for people, real living human beings over in Europe. So perpetuating using that term and using that image of them is actually causing them like real world harm. So my attitude with any terminology is if somebody tells me that it hurts them, then maybe they're being overly sensitive, maybe they're not. The important thing is that they told me that it hurt them, so I'm going to stop it. I'm going to try my best to change. And yeah, you make mistakes. I'm sure I'm going to accidentally use the term fish. Like, I know I will.
I'm not going to stop using it. It's just, for me, it's like, I don't think of it as that word, and I'm not going to make it a big problem. Like, I don't know. I'm just not sensitive to anything either. So you can call me whatever you want. I'll walk down the street and be like, okay, thank you.
I mean, yeah,
I've been called an F word walking down this road before, and I'm like, thank you, call me later. But
people call me way worse
you
things
can't
than
hurt my
that.
feelings either. So I'm not, I grew up in the generation where like you weren't sensitive to anything, and now bullying is a big problem. It wasn't so bad back then either.
Oh, bullying was way worse back then.
See, but we get
I think
worse.
bullying
Oh my
has
it's worse
always
because of
been
social media, I think.
It's worse because of social media, but I
Well-
think bullying has always been an issue. It's just we didn't have the internet to spread it so quickly, so we didn't know what was happening in schools
Right,
across the
exactly.
country.
And that's, I think, what it is.
And now we do. Now, you know,
I was bullied, but I really feel like it's so much worse because of social media, though.
Absolutely.
I think the difference is now that it tends to be much more the emotional bullying, whereas when my wife was a child, she would get beat up so badly she could barely walk.
Oh no.
And when my father was a kid, he was beat up when my father was a kid, he was beat up so badly that like they had to have police involved once or twice. I mean,
Yeah.
it was a routine thing. If you read old reports from the 1800s, you see stories of people bringing guns and just shooting each other because they were having a disagreement at school.
Yeah.
I think the thing to remember is it seems a lot worse because we're hearing about it.
Yeah.
And I think, honestly, that's true of a lot of stuff. Things are actually getting better. As we can sit here and fearmonger all we want, but things are getting a lot better every single year. It's better for everybody.
I think
It's
so
just-
too. I think we have a horrible role model in the president's office right now.
Oh, yeah. I mean, obviously, like there was some backsliding
Yeah.
in the last few years.
Yeah, I just
But,
think that like
yeah.
first, I have a great example. This happened this week. I saw this on Facebook. Somebody at a Walmart in Arizona or something got grabbed by an older guy in the Walmart,
Yeah, I saw that.
and literally nothing happened. Nothing came of it. The police did nothing about it. But I'm like, but you can't sit there and vote for the guy who says it's okay and then be mad that it just happened to you.
Yeah. I mean,
At the same time, like you're it's kind of hypocritical to me.
yeah. I mean, I at times I've had to actually pull away from even reading about politics.
Oh, they get
It's just-
so angry on Facebook.
Oh my gosh. And it can overwhelm you, and it just feels like that's the only thing. Like, I never do political pieces in drag, and that's actually unusual. I feel like most people will do something, even if it's just a funny, like,
I don't really do pieces on it, but I will talk
Yeah.
about it sometimes.
yeah, like I might mention it
You
on
have
the
to know
mic
your
or something.
audience with politics, though.
Oh gosh, yeah, you really do.
Otherwise, you have to drive fast out
If
of
you're in the middle
town.
of if you're in the
Oh, yeah.
middle of nowhere, you don't want to talk about people.
But like when I perform in Boston, a lot of people down there will do really political pieces and like deep, meaningful pieces, and I stay completely out of it because drag is something fun for me.
Oh, and I find that fun though too. But it
Yeah.
just depends on it's everyone's taste is
Well,
different.
It's just like for me, it's just there's so much emotion and fear and everything wrapped up in it. I'm just like, I don't
So
wanna
you're
do
so
it.
you're afraid that you could have a backlash on it.
I'm not afraid of getting backlash on myself. I don't want to do drag that's going to cause me to have a whole bunch of conversations that I just don't feel like having that night.
True.
Like
That's true.
you get done with a performance and you're tired and you just want to goof off and maybe have a drink or two and then go home
I love controversy.
and just take
Yes, you
like
do.
honestly, by the time of the end of the night, I'm just like, you know what? I just want to goof off, have some fun, go home, take the tape off. Oh my gosh.
Take the tape off. Oh yeah, I know. I've seen that. So how
Yeah.
long have you been a drag king?
I started performing October of last year.
Okay.
So coming up on a year.
Oh wow.
I was doing the looks and makeup and fashion looks in my bedroom for longer. So there's a term called bedroom king, which a lot of people bedroom
I've never
queen.
heard that. Yeah.
which is basically people who take pictures and post them on Instagram, but they're not actually performing anywhere.
Okay.
So they're baby performers. But yeah, I started in October of last year.
Okay. I'm very good friends with DJ Chris. I grew up with Chris.
Yeah, I love Topher.
We were like best friends like growing up. So I know Chris very well from the Little Breeze Way there.
Yeah, he's great. Yeah.
He's
so
a
great
good
to work
guy.
with. Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's been so supportive of getting more kings there. And I recently hosted the first Drag King show that they'd had, I think, ever. It was an all Drag King show, which was kind of a cool thing that they don't usually do there. And I brought performers from all over New England and really got to show a wide variety of drag. And he was so supportive and great about that. And
that's nice.
letting that happen. And now we're going to make it a regular thing. So we'll have
Good.
regular all Drag King shows.
Yeah, I feel like they have like so many shows there. I'm like, well,
they
every
do.
day on Facebook,
Yeah.
I'm like, there's another show tonight.
Yeah, they do shows on Tuesday. So they do a show on Tuesday. They do a show, like a drag roulette type show on Friday. And then they do a Sunday show.
Oh, I feel like it's so much more now.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think a lot of times you're getting marketing for a couple of weeks in advance. So you're getting like 2 or 3 weeks
I'm like,
of marketing.
oh my God. I'm like, there are so many shows. We used to do
Yeah.
that at the 313. We had a show every single Saturday and we had one every single Thursday.
Right.
And there was also a show sometimes on Fridays. And then I feel like the 313 just overkilled it, I think.
Yeah.
Too much.
Yeah, they ended up not getting busy. You know, they started losing customers and because they wanted to dance, not see drag queens anymore.
Right. I think that's why you have to have a mix of shows. And I think that's something where something like a Drag King show brings something completely different because, I mean, I think in many ways, Drag Kings, our performances are very similar to Queens, but we do bring a little bit of a different energy and different kinds of looks and songs. So it's something different for people.
Yeah. What's
And-
your favorite song to perform?
Oh, that's a hard one.
What song have you repeated the most? We all
I repeat
repeat.
the most. So I actually usually do mixes when I can. Those are my favorite to do. So
Yeah.
I mix up a couple different songs together. I do a number that is a mix of Eye of the Tiger and clips from Bear Grylls.
Oh, I love Bear Grylls.
Survivor.
So hot.
Yeah. So I do it as like a Bear Grylls number and use some apple juice to drink on stage. So
Oh, yeah.
It's
I forgot that he did that. He drank his pee in that.
yeah, he drank his pee on it, and
Yeah.
so I do I have like a visual gag where I can kind of turn and swap things out really quickly, so it looks like I'm peeing in a water bottle.
I love that. I love Bear Grylls though. Eye of the
it's
Tiger's a
fun.
great song too.
It really is. It's a lot of fun. It worked really well with like the vibe of his movements, and
Yeah.
so you can kind of like jump around the stage and duck behind things, and it allows us for a lot of audience interaction too.
Would you consider yourself like a rock queen? Do you do a lot of rock music?
I'm very campy. I'm very much a comedy king.
Okay.
I do a
It's
lot.
the same genre I fall into, comedy. I can't
Yeah.
dance. I'll make you laugh, but I'm not going to dance.
Right. I mean, I'll dance a little bit, but it's very much like your dad dancing type thing, like boogie a little bit.
Yeah.
My thing is more I want to come up with like a funny concept and put
Your
together a
costumes
cool
are
mix.
outrageous.
Oh yeah, my costumes are really crazy. I have an unusually large drag wardrobe for somebody who's been performing as long as I have, which is mostly because I dress. So in my day-to-day life, I often dress like many drag queens do on stage.
Okay. Yeah. Well, we can see that.
I do. I that's just my fashion sense, and it's always been my fashion sense long before I ever started drag, and it's also my wife's fashion sense. So between the two of us, we had all of these pieces, and what I'm able to do is I can kind of take them and add a couple of pieces to kind of butch them up a little bit and make them look more masculine,
Mhm.
and then that combined with taping my chest to make myself look like I have pecs instead, and of course having a packer
Yeah.
to give myself a little realistic bulge there. That can kind of make clothes that are actually technically women's clothes look very masculine.
Oh yeah, a bulge can make anything.
Well, I mean, if you look at the pictures of me, a lot of the times I'm actually wearing something that was sold as women's clothes. Most of
Yeah.
the clothes that I wear in pictures, they're sold as women's clothes.
Yeah, I've seen that silver jumpsuit that you have. That looks like a woman clothes, isn't that like a?
Yeah, I have.
But I think those are universal too. Like some of
Right.
them are. Yeah.
So in that case, the leggings are women's leggings.
Okay. Yeah.
So I use leggings as pants a lot because I just wear them a little looser than they normally would. So I have the hologram women's leggings, and then I use a top, which is sheer, it's like sheer polyester, but you can see through it. And I think that's technically sold as women's, but it's also from an independent designer. So I think they kind of just sell it to whoever.
Yeah.
It's not really marked men's or women's. And then I wear a lot of really big boots and those tend to be they tend to be in the same category. They're technically women's clothes, but a lot of men and queens wear them too. So it's, but it's really just about, I think, honestly, the drag is, a lot of it's about just how you hold yourself when you're wearing it,
Absolutely, yeah.
Like, I mean, I've seen queens who go out there in jeans and a t-shirt and they can absolutely look as feminine as possible because it's just how they're moving, how they're holding themselves, the music that they're selecting. There's so much of that to it. And I think that that's honestly a lot of what I'm doing too. And with
stage presence is a huge thing. So if you can walk on stage, you can walk out on stage covered in turd. And if you can walk out on stage and kill it, they don't care what you're wearing either. They're it's your presence that's selling you.
Right. Like, I have a pretty curvy body. I have pretty wide hips, which is one of the reasons I wear a lot of women's pants. And I did a number where I was a troll doll. So I was wearing nothing but a wig and beige colored shorts. And that was it. And I went out on stage and you were seeing mostly my natural body, except for a little bit. Obviously, I was taped up a little bit.
Yep.
And I look like a guy.
I have a troll number that I haven't done yet that I've been dying to do, but it requires my real body as well and like a little stone in my belly button. And I'm like, I'm ready for that yet.
I don't know if the world's ready for that.
Oh my God. But no, it's such a good number, but I'm like dying to do it, but I can't. I'm just not there yet. I think I need to be a little fatter. Like, I need a bigger belly for me. Like,
being a little chubby helps for the troll.
Yeah, I need to like push it out like Britney Spears.
Yeah.
Do you remember her? She had a moment. So the showtime is escaping us a little bit. So I want to make sure that people know that they can buy tickets at MoniqueTooSoon.com under Mike Hawk.
Yep.
And they every credit or every ticket you buy under one of the performers in the show gives them an advantage in the competition before they even get there. So these tickets are part of why how they're being judged.
Correct.
So there are ticket sales and there's a whole bunch of other categories, and we're going to be awful to you guys. I'm just kidding. No, we're going to be super nice. I told everyone to go easy and to just really be honest. And if there's something they felt needed some critiquing, to write it down, because that's how we learn.
Yeah.
I feel like we learn from hearing things from other drag performers, and I feel like we learn a lot from each other. And when we stop learning, then we're not having fun with it anymore.
Absolutely. I learn from everybody that I meet. Every single drag performer that I've met, I've learned something from.
Who's your biggest drag inspiration?
Ooh, that's a hard one. There's actually...
You can say me. I get it. I'm just kidding. Have you ever seen me perform?
A long time ago.
Yeah, it was bad. When I first started, I was definitely one of those starter queens.
Yeah, no. So but in terms of drag inspiration, in terms of my style and what kind of shows I do, I like Boris Tudeth, who's on Camp Wanakiki. He's a very campy king. He's really funny.
I don't even know what Camp Wanakiki is. That's how old I am.
It's a YouTube drag show. It's similar. It's like Drag Race, but it's all focused on comedy queens and comedy kings.
Okay, I know Ivana Riggi is on there.
Yep.
And that's she's friends with Mia, who works with me a lot.
Yep, Ivana's on there. There's a lot of really funny performers on there this year. And then another performer that I really like and that was an inspiration for a lot of my makeup in particular was Damien Deluxe. And he's based out of the Minnesota area. I'm not sure exactly where, but he also does the very dramatic, crazy makeup. Because you'll see that a lot of kings will do that, really trying to look as much as possible like a man. I do a lot more of the really crazy stuff.
All right, we're going to wrap up the show in just 1 minute. I wanted to thank you so much for coming on the show. It was a pleasure. I'm glad we got to discuss terms and stuff because we don't get into that a lot.
Yeah.
I do really quickly want to make sure I give you guys the big secret that we've been holding in for so long. So November 16th, we are having a Drag Race girl come into town. And on November 15th, she is going to be on Life's a Drag on the radio. And we are bringing Ms. Nina Bonina Banana Fafana Osama Bin Laden Brown to New Hampshire. So you guys are going to get to see her here at Life's a Drag, and you're going to get to see her perform at the California Room. VIP tickets are going to go on sale September 15th. They are going to be $40, and there's only going to be 50 of them. So when they go on sale, do not hesitate. And I would like to thank my co-hosts, Patty and Caitlin, and of course, our very special guest, Mike. And we will see you guys all next Friday on Life's a Drag, and we will have another Show Mo competitor here. Thank you, and bye.